Hello, everyone. We warmly welcome you all to our special program brought to you by Indian Achievers Forum. I'm your host, Vatika Singh. Indian Achievers Award is an honor that celebrates the people who went extraordinary to effectuate their aspirations and ideas. In this series, we emphasize not only on the struggles and achievements of the people, but also on the social contributions they made to their native land, India. Before introducing you all to our one such achiever, let's take a look at the small EV.
Indian Achievers Forum is driven by a full-fledged advisory board. The board consists of experienced personalities who have excelled in their respective careers. Together, the forum organizes conferences, events, workshops, exhibitions, trade shows, and B2B initiatives in India as well as abroad. Where there is passion, there is achievement. And where there is achievement, there is Indian Achievers Forum.
Mr. Ashutosh is a chartered accountant having an experience of more than 32 years, working both in industry and Big Four accounting firms. In his last stint, he was heading finance and accounts function at Samsung India Electronics. Very recently, in April 2022, he has taken a voluntary exit from employment and has started his own consulting firm, Team Logic LLP. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon, Martika. Wonderful to be connected.
Right, sir. So before entering into the question and answer segment, tell us something about you and your professional journey.
Okay, so I'm brought up in Amritsar, Punjab. I spent around 22 years of my early life in Amritsar. Did my schooling and graduation from there. Started my chartered accountancy there, and then in 1987 we moved to Delhi, where I completed my CA in 1990, and thereafter it was a single-minded focus on career, which has brought me to where I am today. And in terms of my professional role and all, based on what I've done in my career in the last 32 years, more than 32 years, I think I'm more a business and a financial advisor today, and that is where my strength lies. And we help organizations, take benefit of the efficiencies and opportunities, which are in front of them. At the same time, we also help manage their risks. So this is very broadly the role, which I have at this stage of my career.
Right, sir. So moving ahead, I'm really keen to know that what inspired you to pursue this particular field as your business.
Okay, so being a chartered accountant who qualified 32 years ago, uh, it was always an aspiration to start, on my own. My initial circumstances that took me into employment, and as I said earlier, it was single-minded focus on what I did. And recently, I realized that I've reached a stage where I can pursue what I always wanted, and which is something I've not tried, on my own earlier. And it is never too late to pursue, what you want to do in life. So that was the inspiration, that I start whenever I want to start, and I build something, and then I carried through, to the rest of my career. And that was the inspiration enough for me to get into my own consulting.
That's really great, sir. So moving ahead, we know for a fact that starting anything has never been easy for any one of us. So what all were the challenging predicaments that you had to go through initially when you started?
So Vatika, it is, I started it 3 months back, so it is almost 3 months. So if you ask me, I'm still in the phase where I can say it is still the initial phase of the journey, and the business we are in is consulting. So normally, in this kind of business, it is there are four pillars, on which this business stands. Number one is people, because it is a knowledge-based, business, and it really depends on the kind of people you have. We are lucky to have a leadership team of six people, three partners, three senior advisors, very experienced, and supported by close to more than 20 professionals. So on people side, I think we have covered the ground. Second is client service. We have worked in, I have worked in consulting business. My team has worked in profession. So we all are attuned to, on the quality and timeliness of the service to the clients. Knowledge is something, which is personal, and we keep updating ourselves with the knowledge in the area and the field we are operating. And last is the visibility, which is basically your platform will help in doing that, and we'll be going out and being a part of a trade association to increase our visibility. Now, these are the challenges which any consulting company will have. And sitting in month three, I will say that we are going in the right direction. Of course, these challenges are there. Nothing comes free in this world. You have to exert and excel, and you have to make your space in the world. And we are fully geared and optimistic towards it.
Right, sir. So, moving ahead, tell us what exactly are the product and services of Team Logics LLP?
Okay, so Vartika, I'll take some time in explaining. There are a couple of verticals, which we are working on,
Okay.
and I laid down in seriatim. One is the first one is business CFO services. Now, very briefly, in business CFO services, we help clients on financial and strategic planning, managing their working capital, even helping them with the transactions. Even, if somebody wants to outsource a part of finance function for a temporary or a longer period, we are happy doing that. And even to the extent of, hiring of a experienced CFO, people normally hire a temporary CFO for some period, till they get their permanent CFO. So we are happy filling up, that role for a period. The second piece, which is a bit large, is the taxation. In taxation, we cover basically both direct taxes and indirect taxes. And in terms of what we do there, it's entire gamut of compliance, advisory, and litigation. And in terms of direct taxes, it's basically corporate tax, international tax, transfer pricing, working on tax treaties, mutual agreement procedures, advanced pricing arrangements, litigation. Till tribunal, we have in-house capabilities of handling tax litigation, and the team, the leadership team has handled it over a long, long time, including myself. On indirect taxes, it's basically any past legacy litigation flowing from VAT, service tax, excise, any customs issue in terms of advisory and litigation, and then the upcoming GST, where things have just started in the last 5 years. So we deal with the entire gamut of taxes, covering compliance, advisory, and litigation. The third on the table is risk management, basically relating to internal audits, controls, any review of controls or laying down new controls. It is even touching, the forensic side of the risk management, where we do, fraud investigations, due diligences, etc., etc. And the last on the table is basically public policy. This is a subject which is very dear to me. I have worked on, a good amount of public policy matters in my last employment, and this is something very interesting, where you contribute very heavily, to the client while dealing with the government on different policy matters. So anywhere, where the client is of the view that singly, they don't have a voice to take to the government, and they normally do it through trade association. That is not so. If your ask is genuine, it is not related to you. It is pan industry, and it's a win-win situation for both government and the business. Then obviously there is a case to take to the government, and in my experience, those issues are taken up. Purely on merits, and people on the other side are very keen in helping the business and solving those issues. So that's the fourth area, which we have picked up as an area of practice for this one.
So, what are your future plans with respect to the organization?
So future plans are that we have started from somewhere. We are still in the process of building it up. The area or the practice areas, which we have picked up, are fairly large. In terms of future plans, probably one thing which we have already started working on. We would like to bring technology products relating to our field to the market, and that is something which is immediately in consideration, and we'll see results in next 3 to 6 months. I think if I look far, then probably business advisory is something which is another area which would be of interest to myself and my team.
So, moving ahead, you must be knowing about the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign prevailing in India right now. So, what are your views on this campaign and how is your organization working towards it?
Okay, so Atmanirbhar Bharat mission, as we call it popularly. So first thing, which I want to say is that it's always good to, give a name to, any initiative which government of India want to do, or they want the citizens of this country to do. So when we say that Atmanirbhar Bharat mission, then obviously, it is basically they have put something in focus in front of themselves and in front of people of India, that this is an area where all of us together need to focus and make our country a self-reliant country. My first comment would be that it is very essential that all those programs come into being, so that everybody focuses on that. The second part is that obviously we are a large country. We are not such a rich country. We are in the process of improving the lot of our people, and the only way we can do it, for us and our countrymen, is that we become self-reliant. That will give us growth. That will give us a good life and education to our people at large. In terms of our organization, how we are working on Atmanirbhar Bharat mission. I think in a lighter mode, while I jumped employment and started my own consulting, you can see it as a small step from my side to become Atmanirbhar. in a very lighter vein. On a serious note, I think bulk of the policies which are being driven by the government are towards that. We are keen students of all those policies. We are helping businesses take benefit of those policies, and we are helping small and medium businesses understand those technicalities and complexities and nuances around the initiatives which government of India have in helping those businesses achieve self-reliance and making India a self-reliant country.
So, this year we'd be celebrating 75 years of our independence, which is famously known as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So, what would you like to say on this? As in, what is your vision pertaining to this, as and how far we have come?
Okay, so I think 75 years of independence is a major milestone, and as an independent country, we must celebrate, our journey of 75 years. We did, what we did in 75 years, and it has brought us brought the country to this level. Obviously, in the journey of a large country like us with a large population, it's not always things have gone right. Many things have gone right. A few things have not gone right. Everybody is learning, and making improvement around that. And obviously, it's a very important landmark or a period, and we must celebrate it. Having said that, I think there is one point which always bothers, when we talk of independence. Independence in thought process, independence in anything which you want to do, independence in whatever you want to achieve is guaranteed, under Constitution. However, we should not take independence to an extreme level, so as to just to give one example, damaging the public property. Now, that is something which we should, as countrymen, we should desist of from. We are not a rich country. Anything which we waste or damage is going to ultimately come out of the pockets of citizens of country, and it will be at the cost of future growth of all of us. So this is one area which normally hurts me, when I see in the term independence being interpreted, to that extent. Other than that, I think it's a happy occasion. It's an occasion to celebrate.
Okay, so sir, first of all, congratulations on winning the Indian Achievers Award. I really want to
Thank
know
you.
that what was the feeling when you came to know that you have won the award, and who all have been your constant supporters in this journey?
So I think I will give congratulations to the forum, because this is something which forum independently identifies the candidates, and that is something which is very heartening. That irrespective whether I'm a public figure or not, there is a forum which sits and which notices people, and which gives them a platform for recognition, and thereby helping them have a belief in them. So many congratulations to Indian Achievers Forum. Obviously, it feels very great, and if you get recognized at this stage of career in such an independent fashion, and it's also a very humbling experience. And thank you, Indian Achievers Forum for this award.
So now, since we know a lot about your professional role, tell us something about your social contributions as well.
Okay, so I think till now, social contribution has not gone beyond some financial contribution to some of the charities. But I can tell you that my family, It's a very active family on the social front. My father, for 15 years he taught mathematics and science in a remote district in Uttarakhand, an area from which we don't even belong to. It comes in the family that, at some stage we have to give back to the society. And I'm already having that thought process that once the initial, on whatever I'm doing, it settles. I think probably I will parallelly start some social initiative so that we give back to society who has given us so much.
Right, sir. So before concluding this session, you know that IF is followed not only by mainstream organizations, but also those young minds who aspire to be like our achievers someday. So, what is that one message you'd like to give them?
So I'll say that you are there in India in 75th year of independence, and your struggles maybe would be there, but these are not comparable to what probably my father and his generation had. So equip yourself with knowledge, equip yourself with education. Do whatever you want to do in your life, and achieve heights. The only thing which I would add is that a means of achievement should also be focused upon, and be mindful that whatever you do helps in building the national character of India. A success, without building a national character would not be much. It would be only temporary and monetary. That would be my message to the younger generation.
And that I must say, sir, is a great piece of advice. Thank you so much for joining with us today. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we hope that you continue to inspire people of all ages forever. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vartika. Pleasure being here, and thank you so much, for giving this time. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye bye.